I'm from Chicago. He's from Miami. Little did I know that he would have a whole state full of cousins just up the road in Georgia. In fact, when I found this out, it seemed that every time we went to Georgia and we crossed the county line and we crossed another county line and then we finally got to the Georgia line, that there was a cousin just as soon as we crossed the line. Well, what we found was that his cousins from Athens, Georgia, all wanted their own little retreat on the coast of Georgia. So his mother's set of 6 cousins all chipped in and started a non-profit organization and formed and bought property and built a house and called it Marsh Rack. And about 10 years into our marriage, we got a call. His grandmother's set of cousins wanted to pass it down to Craig's set of cousins. There was Spike, and there was Shaq, and there was Joanne and Bobby, and Melanie, and Cousin Craig. And each of these cousins decided that we would re-explore this house on our own. Now, this house was in the middle of the area that you call the marsh out of no man's land, okay? It was called Marsh Rack because it's on the coast overlooking the marshlands, but it also has a lot of the dead grass rack, hence Marsh Rack. But Marsh Rack, as we each explored it, had not been taken care of very well by Craig's mother's set of cousins. The grass was high, there was a whole slew of spider webs when you went in the house, and there wasn't any air conditioning. We didn't go back for several years after that first discovery. But then we heard Joanne, she had made Memorial Day her annual weekend to go to Marsh Rack. In fact, now, Joanne was like a big city cousin now. She had moved to Buckhead in Atlanta. She had taken both of her girls on the Memorial Day weekend and even made a weekend out of it and was doing it for 2 years in a row, setting a tradition. Well, I said to Craig, well, that's that. We'll pick a weekend and we'll make it a tradition with our 3 children. 4th of July. If she can do Memorial Day, we can do the 4th of July. But the kids said, oh no, it's going to be so hot and so buggy. But Valona, which was right next to Eulonia, we figured they were sisters, had a good breeze that year. Now, how do you convince 3 kids to go up to the coast of Valona, Georgia? You tell them you can each bring a friend, right? So now we got 6 kids and 2 adults, and we're in the van, and it's a 3-hour drive, door to door. And of course, after the first mile, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And we make a game that let's count the number of watermelon stands there are between here and Valona. And everybody take a guess, and whoever's closest gets to pick out the flavor of ice cream that we eat for the weekend at the Piggly Wiggly in downtown Eulonia. Oh, everybody was in, and we were excited until we reached one of the biggest watermelon stands you ever saw. It even had one of those little cutout signs on the side of the road. You know, the kind of cutout where it has your face. So when you got out, all the kids could get behind it and they looked like farmers, you know, with the pitchfork. So they were having a good time. But Annie, she was our youngest. Annie was chosen to pick out the watermelon that we would eat that weekend, okay? Now Annie's just Annie. She's a little pleasingly plump, and she was always sort of the favored child because she was a little fussy. But Annie picked out the biggest watermelon that you could pick. And of course, when we got back in the van with the 6 kids and 2 adults, there was no place to put the watermelon but for her to hold that watermelon for the next 2 hours. Annie decided that she would give up her seat for the watermelon. I turned around and she had this safety belt around the watermelon. As the weekend progressed, Annie would dress the watermelon. She had a name for the watermelon. It was her pet watermelon. If we went into town to get milk, along came the watermelon. All weekend long, Annie and the watermelon. Well, her brother Trevor, he said the weekend was coming to an end. And Trevor, back in Ocala, had won the watermelon eating contest that was held down in the McPherson Government Complex one 4th of July. And he said, "That's it, Mom. I can't take it anymore. I want to eat that watermelon." Oh, Trevor. When Annie heard of this, she grabbed her big watermelon and she slung open the back porch and she ran all over the property, and they were zigzagging each other all over the place until Annie got a good hold of that watermelon and she got to the edge of the marsh and she went heave-ho and she threw the watermelon into the marsh where it bust into a million pieces. And the weekend of the 4th of July was had with no watermelon.